So continuing on in the Tosfos on Beis Hamabais, the Im Tamus now has a question, which is a little bit disconnected from the Tosfos before. So now he's asking for a source. What's our source at Eid Echad Neman B'Isurim? Now Rashi, we've already seen Rashi. Now he's basically saying it's a Savara, that how could somebody eat in someone's house? Let me say, yeah, taka, you're not allowed to eat in anyone's house. And then he said, well, there's the posuk that the one Kohen is shachting for everybody. So it seems to be a savara that, like society doesn't work or whatever. And Judaism is a funny thing where basically, at least lechatchila, you can't just go to the end of the earth and live, on the side of a mountain, because you need a minyan. And like traveling and stuff like that, like kosher food and a minyan is like always like the things that a meal is looking for, and the fact that you need a community, and then it's like, well, that there seems to be a svara that you should be living together, and that you can trust the other person's burgers he's serving you. So Tosfos says why? So we learn it from Nida. Now Rashi. Again, says this is far, so he's not learning from Nida. The Pasuk says that she counts for herself, so she's counting her Nida days, her 7 Nida days, for her la'atzma, that she doesn't need. So basically, that she's believed. That when she's counting, then she's believed. The Tosfos of Rosh here kind of speaks out the kind of question here that the Nida is she's a cheskes iser, and she it's lav biado. So how can we learn anything out of Eid Echad Neman B'Isurim from Nida? So v'im tema in kain afilu it chazek isura. Right. So now, if so, that the woman is believed to for her Nida count, even when you have a it chazek isura, then an Eid Echad should be believed. And we said that an Eid Echad is not Ne'eman Keneged Chazaka. So you have a Chazaka, and then an Eid Echad is not believed. Now, what is the Chazaka here of this woman? Why this Tosfos is asking that they should not be believed against a Chazaka? What Chazaka does this woman have that if she's believed for Nida counting, therefore an Eid Echad is believed against the Chazaka? What Chazaka does this woman have that she's believed against?
That she's not always bleeding. She's not.
She has a chazaka that she's not always bleeding.
So wouldn't it be she's tame and
cheskes tuma?
No, she has a cheskes tahara.
She's a cheskes tahara.
No, but once she starts bleeding, then she's in a state of bleeding until she stops.
What the hell are you talking about?
Who?
So she has some type of she has to have a cheskes tuma. Say what the hell is Tosfos talking about? She has a cheskes tuma. V'yesh loymar. So this is again. So Tosfos is saying she's not cheskes tuma. So keneged this idea that the Eid Echad is believed even against a cheskes iser. Here it's not really a cheskes iser. The eina becheskes sheta roya kol sha. Because she's not in the chazaka that she's going to see kol sha. Because avru sheva tahira, and when the 7 passes, memela. So she's tahara memela. So when the 7 days pass, she's mamela tahor, v'lo it chazek asur, and therefore it's not a chazek asur. V'gam biyada live litbol. Lots of I don't know what these letters are doing in here. Maybe they are like Rishonim or something, because like this is like so. What the hell? You see all these letters here? The chof base. They go here. So I don't know what's going on in here. They have these notes and Tosfos, because this line in Tosfos makes no sense. Yeah, that's why they got all the letters here. Shabal Tahir Memela. What the hell does that mean? When the 7 pass, she's Tahir Memela. What does that mean? And Velo It Chezura. Why not? The Gambiada Litbol. What's he talking about? The Marsha. Vemsa Dvarim. The Shavar Mila Melik. Right. The Chayra Kasha Kaven de Benida Iketarti. So if Tosfos is saying that there's the whole thing of the blood and then there's the thing of Tevila, there's 2 things. Velo It Chezura. The Gambiada. So she's not it chazek asura for some reason, because she's tahara memela somehow, which we'll deal with later. The gam biyadahu litbo hadron kushin ledochta, right? This is saying, if we're learning, basically, we're learning Eid Echad Ne'eman B'Yisurim from Nida. Nida has all the problems. If Nida has all the problems, so then Eid Echad is believed everywhere, with every problem. Menalen de Eid Echad Ne'eman B'Yisurim afilu below itchazek asura. Ve'ein biyado. So this is only a case. So how do we know even below itchazek asura ve'ein biyado? If it's kagon safek shel chelev or shuman. So there, it's not itchazek asura because Nida is. It's not biyado like Nida is. So how can he believe? Then we're in b'shmaisim de Ne'eman v'yesh lafresh devrehim mishum de benida ikatarti. So Taisus is breaking the Nida into two separate things. We've got two separate problems. Taisus is breaking up into two. Dehi tame calls man shiroya. So all the time that she sees blood, she is tame. Ve'ein biyado lisvuk damo. She can't stop her blood. That's for sure not biyado. Ve'gam achar kach hi tame. And also afterwards, that the blood stops, she's still tame. Ad shetitbol, because she needs the tefillah to become tahor. So since the blood is coming, the blood keeps coming, that's not called itchazek asura. Why? Because she's not going to see forever. Since she's not going to see forever, so therefore that's not called. She has a chazaka that the Eid Echad is coming to. When she says, I've stopped seeing blood, she's not coming against a chazaka because she's not going to see all the time. Acher 7. So because she saw it, that she's tahira after 7. Even after even after the blood is stopped, she's tavla. So therefore she's still tame, even though the blood stops, she's still tame, and therefore she's not believed. So there she has this whole thing of toivel. The toivel is stopping her from being believed that the blood is stopped. Hare yesh biyado litbol. She can do tevila, and that's in her hand. So therefore there's two separate problems here. The problem of dam, that's not a problem, because the dam is causing a chazaka. The dam is not causing a chazaka. So we see here, so the dam is not causing a cheskes tame. And when the 7 go, she's tahar memela. And she's not itchaz azura. She's still tame because of she hasn't gone to the mikveh, therefore I can't believe her. The gam biyado litbol. Since she's biyado litbol, we saw higher up in the Tosfos that biyado is mutter. That's why it's believed. Even if it's itchaz azura, once it's biyado, you're ne'eman. So therefore, so here the Marshalin actually says here, "V'chein yesh lemot devarim elu." Okay, it's la biyado ve'iloi tachazura ubein yeskazura v'hu biyado ikel emilaf shaper minidas. We're learning two things from Nida. The bedin lav biyado v'lo itchazek azura. So the dam is not itchazek azura, and it's lav biyado. So there the Eid Echad. And also itchazura and biyado you also learn from Nida because of the din of tefillah. So we're learning the two things from Nida. Okay, so that's the Posh B'Shat in the Tosfos Teretz. So we're left with the question of why is dam Nida not itchazek asura? So why is it? What do these words mean? How are you learning this? The eina becheska sheta roy kol shah. How do you understand that? What she's not saying all the time. Why not? Like what's going on here? That this is a chazaka haroy lishtanot. That once she starts bleeding, she's not going to bleed forever, and we expect her to stop bleeding. So this would be called a chazaka haroy lishtanos, and that even though you have a chazaka, so therefore this chazaka isn't going to you're going to do it forever. You're expected to grow out of it. You're expected to change this behavior, and therefore we see here she's not in a chazaka that she'll see all the time, right? So it'll stop. And then kosh aver shavet to her mamela. So therefore, this is a chazaka haroy lishtanos. Is that how you were learning? So moving to the Beis Halevi. So b'shut maharit. So this is a famous maharit. Everyone refers to it. So you have this woman and she gets kedushin, and we have a safek in how old she is. If she is 12 years or not. So if she's 12, she can makabel kedushin, and if she's under 12, she can't makabel kedushin. So therefore, we have to know if basically kaval kedushin. V'katav to bezel lo shayach loimer de neim de al cheskas ketanos ketunta. So we should say that she is a cheskas. When she's born, she's a katana, and therefore she has a chazaka of being a katana until we know otherwise, and therefore katana hayisa be'eshakabla ha kedushin. We say that she was underage when she got the kedushin. It's gonna change. So here we have, like in the Tosfos, v'siyim shamta v'zeh nicha misak divamas erechen ne'emon b'shari yisurin heked it chazek yisur lo v'havi ikar hadavar de erechen ne'emon b'yisurin yalfina laminida. So this is like the idea of Tosfos. The hasam ha'itkas yisur b'mikara v'adai tamai ha'yisa. So for sure she was bleeding at the beginning of her nida. She gets a din of tame because of the blood. Eila dibinida lo chashiva chazaka. She's not a chazaka. Why not? Yedua anachnu shulasof yamim. The end of days yalshimu la yemei tuma. She'll stop bleeding. That's how nida works. And that, again, we don't do it this way because we're a chayshes for ziva. But the way that nida works is that the blood, and then just 7 days, just go to the mikveh. You don't need any shivanikim or anything like that. You just once you see blood, and whether you only see one blood and that's it, or you see blood every day, 7 days comes, just toivul that night, and off you go. And that's how tumah works. That's how nida works, and therefore we know that even when she starts, this tumah will peter out. It will run its course, and therefore it's a chazaka haroi lishtanos. When she didn't count the days, she's believed. So she says, I counted the days. Now the counting is only for Zava. I guess it's coming for what we do today. So it gets complicated in that sense. We're comparing the Deraisa Nida to our Nida. For Kavar Hik, she's actually learning the Nida from, because Nida doesn't need a counting. It's you need Shevanikim for Ziva. When we say all blood is Ziva blood, so we do the Shevanikim. So there she has to count, and that count she's believed on. So now you see here the Shev Shemaisa disagrees with this. So the Maharid is saying in the Tosfos that this is a chazaka haroi lishtanos, and therefore it's not a chazaka. Or Tosfos is saying that it's not a chazaka. Nida is not a chazaka. That's why this isn't a case of that the Eid Echad is ne'emon keneged chazaka, because there's no chazaka with Nida, because Nida is not a chazaka. So the Maharid says it's not a chazaka because it's a chazaka haroi lishtanos. Chazaka haroi lishtanos lo shemei chazaka. Now that is a maklokas. That's a maklokas rishonim. Now l'chayra Rashi, who disagrees with Tosfos that we learn it from Nida, because the way the Maharid is learning here, we said we learn from Nida that because Nida is a chazaka roy lishanos, lav shemei chazaka. Rashi doesn't learn from Nida, so therefore the Pashtus is Rashi holds a chazaka roy lishanos shemei chazaka. So now the Maharid and Tosfos are learning that. Says the Shev Shmaisa that that's not true. Tosfos is not learning. There's no such thing as chazaka roy lishtanos shemei chazaka. And he disagrees with the Maharid. Didn't neman gam beitach zegazura. The Tursa de ene b'chazaka shetehira kol shah because shever v'sheva tahira memela the gam biyada litbul ubir deverim had nemas al tevilo hu mishum de biyada litbul v'had lo chashirin dimo chazara v'rasa v'sachamine haris lo lo chazaka. Now the ikar of the Shev Shmaisa is that he's arguing on he's arguing on the idea of haroi lishanos lav shemei chazak, and the Shev Shmaisa is not learning that into the Tosfos. Herubir divrehim dahad deneimanos al tevila is because it's biad litva v'had lo chashinen dilma chazar v'rita v'sachamina harei lezeh ein lo chazaka. There's no chazaka for that. The key b'shvil sharata pamachat chutzka leros la'olam. So this is the ikar svar of what the Beis Halevi is saying in the Tosfos, of that just because she saw one day, does that mean she has a chazaka she's going to see every day? As she saw it on day one, she sees Dam on day one. Now maybe that whole day she has a chazaka, but she doesn't have a chazaka that she's going to see dam forever. And like if someone has a cut in their finger, so they see that's it forever, they're going to have dam. If I win the lottery one day, then I have a chazaka, I'm going to win the lottery every day. No, it's that just because something happens once does not create a chazaka. So just because she sees blood one day doesn't create a chazaka. So the way that the Beis Halevi is learning Tosfos, he's saying that it's here in the words that Eina Bechetzka Shita Roya Kol Shah. Just because she sold one day doesn't mean now she's going to be seen forever. She sold dam once, yeah, that's fine. She sold dam for 2 days, okay. So she sees dam when she doesn't create a chazaka just because she saw it one day or 2 days. And the pashtus would be sold one day, you've no chazaka. You saw it on the second day, you've no chazaka. So on the third day, there's no chazaka. You're going to see tomorrow. Fourth day, so you that day maybe for that day you have a chazaka. You're seeing blood. But that she's going to see all 7. And then so when the whole 7 goes, she's Torah Memela because she doesn't have a chazaka. The lo it's chazek asura because she doesn't have a chazaka on this. They can be added litbul. Now, the Beis Halevi, so he disagrees with the Maharitz Pshat in the Tosfos of chazaka roy lishtanos. And Tosfos, however, he agrees that it's a good raya elsewhere, and that a chazaka roy lishtanos is a chazaka, says the Beis Halevi, but that's a Maklokas Rishonim, and this is the acre part of the Maklokas, which we're not going to get into. So the next Tosfos. So the next is Eid Echad Neman Beisurim. Heksher Rabbeinu Tam Ma Teshuvahi Zot. What kind of answer is this? That an Eid Echad is Neman Beisurim. Iker Haget Yochiach Shesarach Lachtom B'Shnayim. So we're saying that a Eid Echad is one person is enough to matter this woman. Yet the get itself has chatimas. You would need 2 people to sign the get. Why do 2 people need to sign the get? Because it's a davar shebe'erva or whatever it is that you need. That an eid echad cannot matter this. So how can we answer that an eid echad is enough for a get when the get itself says that we need 2 people to matter it? The teres hachikamor. The eid echad ne'eman b'yisurim b'kichai gavna the ikar haget nase kavar. The ikar get is done. So the Rabbeinu Tam is saying that really, where is an Eid Echad Ne'eman? He's Echad, and when it's only needed Giloi Milta Ba'alma, where he's Giloi Milta to know which way it is. So therefore, for example, if we have is meat kosher, so therefore there will be it's just Giloi Milta. Was it shechted properly? The din was done. The shechita was done. I just need the Eid Echad for a giloi. I don't need any more than a giloi for the shechita. So anything that's just a giloi. The ma'aseh was already done, and therefore I just need a giloi of what's going on. So therefore an Eid Echad is ne'eman, and that's how that's what Tosfos is answering. So weiter in the Gemara. So we say Eid Echad ne'eman b'yisurin is our answer. So Amor the Amrina and Eid Echad ne'eman b'yisurin. So where do we say that Eid Echad Ne'eman B'Yisurin could go on Chatika Safek Shel Chelev Safek Shel Shuman? So again, we've had this case where we have this fat. Is it forbidden fat or is it mutter fat? The Lo It Chazek Isura, where there's no Chizkas Isser on the Chelev. I don't know, it's just Safek Chelev, or there's no Chazaka that it is Aser. Aval Haka the It Chazek Isura, but here where the Yisura has a chazaka. What is the chazaka that there's here? The Isser, it's the Eishes Ish. So you're coming to be matter her with the guess. So therefore, so again, in Tosfos we already know this. It chazek Yisura, she's an Eishes Ish, and you're mattering her to marry. So she's got a chezkas Isser. Have a davar sheba'erva ve'ein davar sheba'erva pochut mishnayim. What the hell just happened there? So what's the whole point here of It Chazek Isura? If davar sheba'erva is where he's not believed, why do I have to bring this whole Safek Chelev Safek Shuman nonsense and say It Chazek Isura, but she's an Eishes Ish and have a davar sheba'erva ve'ein davar sheba'erva pochut? What do I need that for? Pick one. We got 2 things going on here. It Chazek Isura and davar sheba'erva. Why? Pick one. Let's see if Rashi will help us. Erecha de lo itchazek asura. The chaylev b'chak chaticha isura gufa. So the chaylev in this specific chaticha, it's not itchazek. So haka itchazek. B'chak isasa. This woman has a chazaka of Isha ish. Umitavel v'shechita lo garmina. We can't learn from Tavel and Shechita, which is itchazek asura. Lo katamrin b'yavamos tahasan b'yadu letaknan. And this is what Taisus is going on before. That Rashi himself will say later that the reason we believe there is because of b'yadu letankan. And again, Tavel and Shechita, and he doesn't bring Nikor. So he's saying that Nikor, because there, hatan b'yadu letaknan. Seemingly, Nikor is not b'yadu, which goes back into the Maklokas we said it was b'yadu. Lefikach neman laha'ir aleihin. Therefore, he's believed to later on because there is, because it's biado, and therefore we can't learn from Tavel and Shechita. So therefore, against Chazaka, the Eidech is not believed. Ve'ein davar erva roi lahatiru b'pocher mishnayim. You can't matter her with less than two people. The Aleph davar mimomen. Kativ hacha kiyim seba arvis davar. So by davar erva it says davar, and by money it says al pi edim shnayim yokum davar. So davar mesechet saita. So therefore by momon we need edus of two people to be moitzi momon. So too by davar erva you need two people to be moitzi from the chazaka. So again, I have $100 and you want to take it from me. I'm mukzak in the $100, therefore you need two edim to take it out of my chazaka. This woman has a chazaka of an eishes ish, and therefore you need two people in order to take her out of that cheskas eishes ish. Therefore, ve'ein davar erva, you need two people in order to do it, and therefore the one is not enough. So why do I need both of these things? We have so we have the shel shuman the lo it chazek asura aval haka the it chazek asura to eishes ish eino neman or something like that. Why are we flipping here? Have it davar shaber vein davar shaber pakim misham. We've added in the second line here, which makes no sense. So if one is enough, I don't need the Gemara to give me both. So the fact that Gemara is giving me both, seemingly, one is not enough. Now I saw this Ran. I just love this Ran. Have it davar shaber vein davar shaber pakim misham. Ika de lo garisley. Right? Ika de lo garisley. Take it out of the Gemara. Fantastic. Kevan de itchazek asura lo tzrichen le davar shaberva. Push it. Thank you, Ran. I mean, yeah, just don't chorus it, because once you have the itchazek asura, I don't need this whole davar shaberva, because the eidech is not name on. We have a question. What do I need? The davar shaberva. Ve'i garsinin le haki garsinin. Have davar shaberva. The you see here, the have davar shaberva. Now, if we go in here, I think that Gimel will say the Ran adds a vav here. Have you see. The way that the Ran is learning, we have two questions. So we have question one is Itzadik Azura, and also if that's not good enough for you, then and also have a davar sheba. Here we don't have the vav here, since you don't have the vav here. Now in other Gemaras there's the vav. For example, in Yevamis, the Yevamis Peiches. That here the Yevamis Peiches. It says va. At least where I was looking at it. But the Ran says v'havit davar sheba erva. So v'chada v'od kamor. So we got two questions. Now this would all be good, but I kind of agree with the Ramban here. The Ramban again, the Ran is kind of a Talmud down the line of the Ramban. So the fact of saying the same thing is good. V'i garsinin le haki garsinin v'havit davar sheba erva. V'chein nami perch isha rabba. That's in I'm saying they get the same name in Yevamis there. Who perished Chada v'od kamrinin. Right? That's basically the Ran. And then the Rambam finishes V'lo nehira. What does that mean? Yeah, I like the Ran saying don't chorus it, because then it's very easy. That's like, well, the cash is gone. We could just go weiter in the Daf Yomi shir. But I said, but if you do chorus it, just chorus like this. I don't like that, and so I agree here with the Ramban. Lo nehira. I don't know what the Lo nehira is. I'll get my pshat in the Lo nehira, but maybe it's not what he means. So I don't
it's not
like
clear which gear that is.
No, I know. He says don't chorus. He says this whole thing. Don't Don't chorus it. I don't like it because at the end of the day, we still have avahaka to itzka chesura to ish. Why do I need to go weiter? And then if I have and also look, if you don't like that question, then have a davar shabarva. Well, why don't I like the first question? And just say davar shabarva. No, but it's chesura. So why are you bringing me both of them? I don't. So I the way I'm learning the Ramban is like v'lo nehira. It's not, why are you asking it twice? Why do I need two sides of the question? But so the Ran says, yeah, just put in a vav. Let me see if that gimel is Ran. There's the gimel. Gimel, Girsis Ran. Here, gimel, Girsis Ran. Yeah, vahave. Right? So I'm saying that on that, the Ramban's saying no. And again, it's not necessarily the girsa of the Ran. The Ran says don't gorse it. But if you have to gorse it, then this is how you gorse it. Now, Tosfos also has a Gemara. Have a davar shebe'erva. Hi, Dinaka davar shebe'erva. Right, so what's his question? Oh, jeez. We just had Itzchazek Kesura, so therefore, I don't need davar shebe'erva. Because you just told me Itzchazek Kesura, that's enough that for the question, that I need two, not one. So why do I need to add in also davar shebe'erva? Oimeri, mishom de ba'isha rabba, here's our Yavamas Peiches again. Bishar Isurei, the other Isurim, Kagon Tevel, Vehektish, Vekomnos, Misfeikalanim Nehemran Afilu Itzchak Kasura. So we have a Shita over there, or a suffix in the Gemara, that an Eid Echod is Ne'emon against the Chazaka for Tevel and Hektish and all these type of things. We said Biado, but there in Yavamas, there's a tzad to say that even against the Chazaka, he's believed. Isura Valav Biado, or Lo. So therefore, you have to go on to say that, well, according to that shita of Itzchak Kasura, then we still have, it's like an imtim saloimar, really. So if you want to say over there that even he's even believed, so let's say we hold that he's not believed against the Chazur, but if you want to say he's believed against the Chazur, it's a davar shebe'erva, and a davar shebe'erva he's not believed. V'im tema I eid echod ne'emon b'shari surim. If the neid echod is believed in shari surim, lefilu Itzchak Kasura. V'lav biyado. So if the Eid Echod is believed with the other Isurim that's not davar shebe'erva, even with the Chazaka, and it's not biyado, amay yisruk v'safar law la'atzma. Why do I need this case of the nida? So if we're going, we have the shita in Yavamas. So why do I need the pasuk? Because I already you can't learn these things from nida. That the nida is like a davar shebe'erva. That since she's mattering herself to her husband through her nida believability, so therefore the nida is a davar shebe'erva, and therefore the pasuk is learning that Eid Echod is ne'emon. So that's all in the Havamina. So before the pasuk, I would think that if I just know from the Eid Echod is Ne'eman connected the Chazaka, that without the pasuk, then I would medama nida to Arias, and therefore you would need two Eidim, and she wouldn't be believed. So therefore, the pasuk comes to tell me that it's not a davar shebe'erva, and the Eid Echod is believed, because obviously if it was a davar shebe'erva, he wouldn't be believed. So there's like this kamash malan of the pasuk that nida is like shar isurim. Now this is Tosfos' teretz. He's arguing on the Ran and the Ramban. And
sorry, just to clarify.
So Tosfos is explaining to us as to again, he's not like the Ran. So Tosfos is explaining to us why, even though we say Itzchazek Kesura, that I still need davar shebe'erva, because there's a man damar that the Eid Echad is ne'emon keneged Itzchazek Kesura. So therefore, I have to bring davar shebe'erva. Now, the obvious question to Tosfos is why bring Itzchazek Kesura b'chlal? Just say davar shebe'erva. Tosfos doesn't answer that question, and there's either a shita or a maklokas as to why that is. So Rebbe Akiva Eiger says here, the mashma that when the lo itchazek ne'eman dehavi davar sheba'erva. That's why you need them both. So says Rebbe Akiva Eiger, the way Tosfos is learning that itchazek kesura is. That's when, even if you believed against itchazek kesura, so you believed against itchazek kesura, that is have a davar sheba'erva, and therefore if you have a davar sheba'erva without a chazaka, so then you're believed. An eid echad is believed when there's no davar chazakas erva. So why do you need to say hashas rasulomar b'derech im tim saloimar? This is the idea of the Rebbe Akiva. It's im tim saloimar. It chazakasura nemon have a davar sheba'erva. So im tim saloimar, that it's a it chazakasura, that he's that in Idchaz Kasura he's believed, this is a davar sheba'erva. Therefore, a davar sheba'erva without a Idchaz Kasura, then it would be he would be believed. The leidach we learned in Pasha to Parkim b'derech beis kushiyas ha'alef b'itchazek beis afim lo itchazek have a davar sheba'erva. So the first one should have said that it's a cheskas iser. And even if it's not a cheskas iser, it's a davar sheba'erva. But that's not what the Gemara is saying. It's saying that it's a itchazek asur. Even if he's believed against the itchazek asur, it's a davar sheba'erva. So the Rebbe Akiva Eiger is learning that it is in the case of davar sheba'erva without a chazaka, the Tosfos is holding that he's believed. Now we have a look at the Shev Shmaisa. So acher kasati so he has a whole long thing here. So you have Matzati in the Maharik, Shurish Ayin base. So if again you can get into the Tosfos here in the Maharik, Shurish Ayin base. Harech beinyanzeh. Vayin Sham, he says the min hadin hayalanu loimer the isha neman loimer meis bali. We don't have an anida, so she should be believed. That echad should be believed. The nemas al atzmo. Galit kidiyafim asafrla. Afagav the have a davar sheba'erva. Ve'ena pochus mishnayim. So even though her saying that my husband, her husband died, that's a davar sheba'erva. She's matching herself, and no ilav mishum the itchezek kesura. See, it's only because there was a cheskas iser that's causing her to not be believed. So the Maharik is learning, like the Rebbe Akiva Eiger in the Tosfos, that you are believed in davar sheba'erva if there's no cheskas isura. The kena das machras the lo amrinen ein davar sheba'erva pok mishtayim ele davka heiches shebesha shemami aleya erechod lihiatera hi becheskas. So there's a few negatives here, but ein davar shepok mishtayim. That's only in the case where at the time. So where ein davar sheba'erva pok mishtayim means where do you need to, i.e. where is one not enough? When the one person is giving edus, the eid echod to hatera, there she's becheskas iser. So therefore, if she doesn't have the cheskas iser, then one is believed. So this is all in the Maharik. And again, this is all coming from the Tosfos. That Tosfos is only saying why I need the itchazek asur. He's not saying why I don't just have the davar sheba'erva, because the davar sheba'erva without the chazaka we'd be believed, right? So therefore, we need them both. We need because if we just said have a davar sheba'erva, eidech will be believed. So we need to say that itchazek asura and davar sheba'erva, they're both coming together. Therefore, he's not believed. So Tosfos is only focusing on why do I need to have the itchazek asura, because we have the both sides, but I still need davar sheba'erva because I still need that's why I need davar sheba'erva. That's what Tosfos answers. But according to Tosfos, I need itchazek asura anyway, even if I have davar sheba'erva, because davar sheba'erva is believed by an eid echod if there is no itchazek asura. Therefore I need to have both itchazek asura and davar sheba'erva. So Tosfos again is only answering why do I need it? Why do I need to have davar sheba'erva because he's not believed against a cheskas iser. But even if you say against cheskas iser, davar sheba'erva, I just have davar sheba'erva. No, because I need itchazek asura because she believes. So itchazek asura, he's not believed. And if there is and if there's no iser, he is believed. Davar sheba'erva, he is believed. And if it's itchazek asura, she's not believed. So I need them both. That's the Iker Pshat. All the Tosfos can not like the Ram, but not like the Ram. Now, the Shev Shmaisa disagrees with the Maharik. And again, the way he's learning, again, I did mention this, Aval haka the itzka zekasura the ishasis have a davar sheba erva ve'en davar sheba pokim mishnayim mashma the ilav zekasura lav. So he brings at the beginning davar sheba erva. Hechet delege chazaka nami nira the ein echad me'amen. So where there's no chazaka, he's also believed. Right, so that's not like the maharik. So how do I know davar sheba erva from moment? So everything from Torah is moment on it, and therefore again this is why I said that you need two edim to take her out of her chazaka. Therefore, I need two edim to take her out of her chazaka. So now here says the Shev Shmaisa, by moment, even if there's no chazaka klal, then eid echad is not believed, because you say in Elam and Siyas that you have one guy says Simonim and this says Simonim the eid echad, then you leave it, you don't give it to anybody. So there's no chazaka who owns it. So one guy's giving Simonim and one guy has an eid echad, so you don't give it to either of them, even though there's no chazaka. Hatam leke muchzak klal filohachi ein echad kam ledaito le'edus mom and klal. So therefore, you see there that even though there's no chazaka, you still just like moment. When there's no chazaka, eid echad doesn't work. Now there's a maklokas and how to learn this sugya. So if you're like the Ma'arik and you learn that there's no even that you have to learn that the moment where there's no chazaka, eid echad does work, and you have to learn. He learns that sugya differently there. So it's the maklokas and how to learn it from. Dover and moment. So Rav Nachum kind of says the same thing with Tosef and Nichlo al Rambam bezeh. So it's a maklokas between them. So the al Gorchet the Tosef Svarle the Kvanas Gemara lekushia echas. See that according to Tosef it's all one kasha. The Havale Itzach Zekasura and Davar Sheba Ever, they're coming together. That's why they're not believed, because they're all one thing together. Lachi Chukshaluhu and my boy Lachtaima the Davar Sheba Erva. So why do I need the second one? Just Gemara Kai Lahachzad the Shari Surim Mahani Edecha Keneged is. See the Gemara is holding that the Shari Surim Edechad is against the Hizak. Lachi Chukshaluhu Gemara Lahoisef Haka Davar Sheba Erva. V'hinei midivri Tosfos lo nitzba era mai hushcha gamar leita zekasura. See, the Tosfos never answered this question. Why don't I need the first case? V'lo sagi b'davar sheba erva lechud. So he answers the Maharik and the Rebbe Kiveger. Shehuchum he said the Tosfos varale the hay the ench the davar sheba erva pochum mishnayim have hayinu rak beita zekasura. So the only time that according to Tosfos the word eidech was not believed is against the Cheskes sister, but there's no Cheskes sister below Cheskes sister Mahani Eid Echad, and therefore I need them both together. Itchas Cheskes de Eishasish and Davar Sheba Erva, and then you can see elsewhere.